tell me about the Bachelor Live. Tell me why I wasn't invited to the party.
Here's the setup. First off, Rachel, you weren't invited to the party because you get invited to too many parties.
You're
invited to everything. Here's the setup. So first off, the whole reason for it is it's a thank you letter to the Bachelor Nation. Okay. So for all of us, you know, good, bad, ugly, Bachelor Nation has been so supportive of us. So the tour and showing up to their hometowns, doing a show in front of them, is really a thank you to them to say, hey, come on, join us. You've watched a show on TV for years. Now it's time to come join us live on stage to hopefully make some connections. So that's the reason for it.
Okay. Yeah, and now we're giving, like Ben said, a thank you letter back to the fans because we've all been invested in the show. We'll watch from behind the screens and, you know, we'll cheer and we'll scream and we'll cry. And so this just gives the fans and the followers an opportunity to do that with us and give us their feedback in person.
So how does it work though? Because is it a live Bachelor experience on stage? Like, is it going to be similar to the show? Give me a little bit more details, as much as you can. It's just us.
Yeah, it'll be, so we're trying to incorporate the show as much as possible. Of course, you have the group dates, you have the rose ceremonies, but it's just gonna be more interactive. So you'll have us giving our feedback and insights to what we experienced, as well as having them see what it's like, not in the day of the Bachelor or Bachelorette, because of course we film for months, but we'll have a couple hours to have people meet locally and hopefully connect and do the fun dates and different challenges and competitions, and then hope that they find somebody that they're compatible with.
Okay, but how did you guys get together as the host for the show? How did that come about? Did you just call up Becca and say, Becca, I need some help on this. I need a lady's opinion on how to do this show?
Well, I mean, you get it, Rachel. Like, there is a ton of high quality women that come off the show, and that are super talented at doing a lot of things. And so for me, I wanted to find a co-host that obviously I was compatible with. That would be, we're doing 66 stops. So like,
are you serious?
We're doing 66 of these. So like, you have to find somebody that you can get along with also.
We're taking the nation by storm.
Like, it's gonna be a lot. So one of the reasons is, hey, I know Becca, I like Garrett. My girlfriend Jessica likes Becca and likes Garrett. And so let's hit the road together on a bus, travel to 66 places and make this thing happen. And then she obviously has the skills to like host as well. That helps. But a lot of it is we have got to become really good friends really quickly or this is never going to work.
Right.
So you guys had a friendship outside of this experience?
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll get to know each other a lot better.
For sure.
Yeah, we've met each other a few times. Not a ton, but she's been able to spend a little bit of time with Jessica. And probably as much as anybody has in Bachelor Nation. Yeah.
But one thing that I'm so happy about that I get to be with Ben on this is that he's so invested in the fans and giving back to them and wanting them to have the best experience. I think it wouldn't work if it wasn't him, to be honest. I think he's so invested and cares so much that that's where my excitement comes from now when we're announcing this today, because I mean, he's so dedicated to it.
And picture this, okay. So Becca and I are up on stage. Becca wants people to find love because she found love on this show, right? I want people to find love because I found love in life, but without this show, I would have never, I don't think Jessica responds to my Instagram message unless I had the blue check mark. Just because.
It does make you stand out.
It does make me stand out.
But she also knows he wasn't creepy.
Yeah, I'm not creepy anymore. But we're on stage and we're helping this Bachelor from their hometown find 10 women on a stage to see if they can potentially find any sort of connection. And if two people aren't invested in that love story and aren't rooting for them, it's never gonna work. And so Becca uniquely has, there isn't a ton of success stories from the show. Right. I just happen to be sitting by 2 of them.
Oh,
yeah, girl.
Look at your ring, it hurts my eyes.
I know, it's blinding over there with all the bands.
And so I think it fits, because Becca can teach us all how you can find love on a show or just find a connection on the show.
Well, I think it's interesting that you give the different perspectives because you did find love on the show. You had a different experience or a different outcome from the show, but you are playing matchmakers in this role. So what is going to be your key, or what's the key to success in helping these individuals find love?
I think one thing is we can now relate to the contestants and to the Bachelor contestant because we've gone through it, obviously on a much greater scale, but we kind of know the pressure and what needs to go into finding somebody who you potentially are compatible with. And so I think just that unique insight helps us help them as well. And just, I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but I think everyone deserves to find what we've now found and what you found with Brian. And so any way that we can be a champion for those people to help out, that's what got me excited in the first place to say yes to this.
I imagine sitting down with the Bachelor that we've chosen each one of these cities before the whole thing starts and saying, hey, if I give you one piece of advice, take a couple deep breaths, you're gonna be fine. Like, worst comes to worst, you totally flop at this and your life is still gonna move on.
Yeah.
The same thing I would tell to anybody that's going on the show to be the Bachelor or Bachelorette would be, relax. Like, at the end of this, no matter what, you're gonna be okay. The second would be open up your mind. I'm not asking you to, find your future fiance during the show. All we're asking is that you stay open to the idea that potentially you could find a connection. And I hope every show is like that, where he's walking out to meet 10 incredible women, and then see if anything can happen.
So you're giving me more details as we keep talking. So there's a Bachelor. He meets 10 incredible women, as you said. How is he going to get to know them live on stage in front of this audience?
Well, let me tell you. So we will have different group dates, different challenges that the girls will have to partake in. And they're really aligned to show off their personalities. So I don't want to give any hints away of what they are because I want everyone to be surprised when they come and see it for themselves. But they're going to be fun, and they're going to be a way for the girls to kind of pick and choose how they want to showcase their personality in, of course, a short amount of time. So also, too, they have the chance to win a competition or get the first impression rose or a rose at the rose ceremonies, and then they'll have some time off alone to mingle and get to know each other when Ben and I are, talking to all the other contestants too.
So how long is the experience?
8 hours.
Are you serious?
No.
Snacks.
Yeah, no, it's a 2-hour show.
Okay.
And one of the cool parts is Becca and I were just talking about it before we sat down, and it really is Hollywood coming to each one of these towns across the U.S. I'm from Indiana. Hollywood doesn't come to Indiana very often, but places like that all across the U.S., from the West Coast to the Midwest, to the East Coast, we're going to be showing up, and it's going to be bright lights, loud music, it's going to feel fancy, there's going to be cocktail parties, and there's going to be all these things that really enhance the experience to make it a show. And as Becca just said, when the Bachelor walks out and the show begins, it really is a show. It's an entertaining show where he is picking these women, and some of them will have to go home. Night one. On the first date, they're going to have these competitions that will be group dates like you've seen that are going to be fun and exciting. There's going to be dancing, and there's going to be crazy music and funny, awkward experiences too that I think are good to point out. Is like just like in The Bachelor, when you watch and you have to cover your eyes, there's going to be moments like that on stage. And at the end of it, it's going to be, hopefully you'll walk out of it, and the takeaway is, I literally just watched The Bachelor in 2 hours, what would take me 13 episodes during a regular season, all willing down to hopefully a couple walking off stage.
So you mentioned the rose ceremony. Will there be participation from the live audience, or as far as the rose ceremony goes, or will you guys help out with the rose ceremony? And by that I mean the final rose that's given away.
A little bit of both. The audience will definitely have a say, and we will for sure hear their thoughts and feedback. Ultimately, The Bachelor is trying to find somebody that he is compatible with and can hopefully find love with. So he will have the final say, but we'll help along the way and have our little tidbits and insight too.
I hope he can step up and make those tough decisions.
Well, no pressure in 2 hours.
Yeah, no pressure. He has 10 women to whittle down in 2 hours. And I think there's a cool twist. At the very end, it's really going to come into the hands of the women to decide where this thing goes. And
which I like.
But you have to come to the show to check it out. And so it really does put the power in their hands, which I think is a great twist, but also just done the right way.
Well, it's a two-way street. Love is a two-way street. You can't just hand out a rose and expect the person to say, yes, I'm all in. So we'll see.
I'm excited. I'm truly on the edge of my seat trying to figure out what this twist is. I'm still stuck on 66 cities.
Yeah.
So how are you guys going to be navigating these 66 cities? Are you traveling on a bus together?
We're on a bus. We're not together. I think
we have 2 buses.
Okay.
Actually, we should talk to management about that.
We better get used to having a dog around because Minnow's coming with.
We have 3 buses, 3 tour buses that are going to be hitting 66 cities. So I'll have a bus, Becca will have a bus, we'll have another bus. It will become our home. I mean, you got to think, we're starting February 1st. We're not ending until May. So it's going to, Becca is fantastic. There's not many women out there that are as great as Becca, and Garrett is terrific. but it's going to be really nice to have our own separate homes to go back to.
Yeah, as much as I think we'll have fun together, we're going to want some space.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What do your significant others think about this? Like, what does Garrett say?
Garrett is so supportive. I thought at first he's going to be like, you're going to be gone that long, but I made sure that he can come stay with me whenever he wants, and I also made sure that our new little dog, Minnow, can come stay. It has to be dog friendly. I can't leave her, so she's coming. They're both coming.
And how are you and Garrett doing?
We're good. Yeah, we're doing really well. We're living together now. We've lived together for about 6 months, and I mean, as you can probably imagine, it's been interesting because I've never lived with a guy before.
Same, yeah.
But I love him. He keeps me entertained literally every day. I feel like I have abs just from laughing at him, but he's a very good fur father too. So.
I think that's key, the laughter in a relationship. So I have to ask you what I know people ask you all the time, but are we hearing wedding bells? Are we taking the next step?
Oh,
I know you
God.
did with the dog.
Yes. No plans as of yet. We're just dragging our feet and taking our time. It took us so long to figure out where we first want to live, and then it took me like months to figure out when we can to convince him to let me get a dog. So we're just slow, but no plans yet.
Wouldn't it be great if you did it live on stage at one of these locations?
No.
Okay, look at me.
No.
No.
No. I
way to
think,
do it.
and I think my family and his family would probably kill us if we did it publicly.
Well, I think it's
That'll
great
worth a
that you're
shot.
taking your time. Now I'm going to move over to you. You and Jessica.
Yeah.
You've mentioned her a couple of times. I see the smile on your face. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. It's the best thing. And I think it's great for me because this tour is a huge commitment. And I knew that going into it. And she was one of the first people to say to do it. She's going to be on the road with me a lot. Not the whole time, but a lot. Okay. And she actually, a week ago we were together, and randomly, out of nowhere, she goes, I've been thinking a lot, and I'm really excited for this tour because I think it's going to be a cool experience for us to share.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is awesome from any partner when you have that kind of support on something that you know could be a tension spot. Hey, I'm going to be gone for 4 months. And instead of turning that on me, she says, I'm all in on it. So Jessica and I are fantastic. It's been the best thing.
So she's all in. I mean, you just said to Becca she should do something on stage. I have to propose that to that same
Maybe that's
question
the
to you.
twist.
What if you did something on stage with Jessica? Maybe take your relationship to the next step.
Well, I don't want to say when it could happen, but if you come to these live shows, it could possibly happen live on stage.
Oh, I like the way you just did that plug right there. So we've got a season that's being filmed right now. I know you guys saw the news about Peter and the 22 stitches. Has anybody talked to him?
Well, I just saw that the other day, and I'm still wondering, did it happen out of a golf cart? I don't know.
Okay, I don't even know if I can say this. I have talked to Peter. It did happen on a golf cart, and he's doing fine.
Okay.
But how do you think he'll be as the next Bachelor?
I've never met Peter, so I really can't say. I think he'll take it seriously. I think he truly seems like a sweet man who wants to find someone. That being said, the more the seasons go on, the more I get nervous about not the lead, but the contestants. So I think it'll be interesting to see who's casted. I mean, I saw the pictures of the girls released, but I don't read the spoilers really, so I don't know what's going on. But I just hope that there's actually somebody there who he can have fun in a windmill with. Maybe more, I don't know.
I think there'll be more.
More, yeah.
I think he just seems like such a lover that I think that he won't have a problem falling in love. I'm like you. I just hope that it's reciprocated from
He's
the
like a big teddy
contestants.
bear.
I think he is like the softest hearted dude, and I think he is so intimate that we're gonna see the physical intimacy of this season become something that we've never seen before. And it's gonna be interesting how America handles it based off of how they handled Hannah Sanzu.
The reason I say that Peter's a lover is because he seems to be very in touch with his feelings. You don't see a lot of people come on who have all the boxes checked, and I feel like the one thing that's missing for him is love in his life, and he's really seeking that, maybe more than you've seen from other contestants, so that's why I say, or other leads. That's why I say,
Oh, I think so too,
I see Peter as a lover. But with you specifically, a lot of people say Peter is Ben Higgins-esque or Ben Higgins 2.0. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think he'll do far greater things than I ever could do. Yeah, I mean, I think probably what that means is, I do agree with you completely, is he's going into this, I really thinking this could work. Right? And I mean, I think all of us have went into it with a little hesitancy. But for some of us, it really has worked. And I went into it thinking, hey, this is a good shot at that.
Yeah.
And I think because of it, it will be a good ride for him. You can't fail when you give it your best effort.
I agree.
And so to compare him to me, I think he has a lot more charisma, and I think his swagger is, if I was here, he's up here.
Do you? Okay, he seems like a nice guy, but I feel like I kind of like him because he seems like the nerdy, nervous kind of.
Maybe that's why we
seems a little
compare each other.
quirky.
Yeah, but like also a little timid, which I think is endearing. It'll be, I don't know, it'll be interesting to watch and see. I think, I will say it's getting a little bit more difficult to watch each season because I feel like I'm getting so old now and it's skewing a lot younger, so it's a little tough.
Well, let me ask you that then, and I absolutely agree with you. I share the same sentiment as you. When it comes to finding contestants for your show, Bachelor Live on Stage, how do you think the way that you feel, those sentiments that you have where you're a little, skeptical about some of the contestants, how will you bring that into your show as far as picking out the girls for The Bachelor?
Well, we don't personally get to pick out the girls.
Okay.
There is a casting team, just like there is for the show. The women that will be going on the show that night won't know they're going to be on the show until they show up to the live show.
Oh, exciting.
Right? So you've been nominated, you've applied, you've got tickets, you show up in your dress, you're excited, you walk in.
You're bringing your A game.
And all of a sudden somebody goes, it's your turn. And so I think that's an exciting element too, is when everybody's in the lobby kind of congregating and having cocktails before the event starts. A lot of them won't know that night could be the night that they meet their special someone forever.
It's like going to a concert and getting picked out of the audience. Has that ever happened to you? That's
No,
happened
but
to me.
I wish.
Never
Talk
to
about
me.
that
How do we
story
make that
after. We'll talk about that
happen?
story afterwards.
No, it never happens to me.
We'll talk about that afterwards. Well, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see what Bachelor Live on Stage has in store. I am expecting an invitation.
You're coming.
I'm just going to say.
Yeah, I hope you come.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.